Wake me up when it's all over. When I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost.
So wake me up.
So wake me up when it's all over.
Michael, you got to wake me up. 94.3 FM to Talking. Listen to Sanity Check. 888-577-4487. Folks, the more we look into it, the Independent Gazette, Sanity Check, and certainly we encourage folks to go to our websites and check out our store and a lot of different things that we're doing. Michael, I want to reemphasize that. Well, our new paper in Carbon County will be coming up July 4th. We're looking forward to that. Poconos is right there. We're just about ready to print down there, and certainly then we'll maybe have a Northeast regional a reach here a little bit. But these courtrooms are an absolute cesspool. It really is. The more we're looking into this, folks, I'm telling you, we've been hoodwinked. And these courts have just spoken laws into existence. It's not laws that have been put into place. So certainly we're bringing this up, Rule 1.6, and certainly we're going to stay with Congressman Marino, and hopefully he will sit down and have, really some tough questions we're going to ask him. But once again, as always, this is not ambush journalism, either by Sanity Check or by the Independent Gazette. We will print in whole what is said, and that's how we learn, and we understand how some of these things are put into place. But certainly jury nullification is another thing that was just spoken into existence. And, I'm reading some of the things here. Nullification is like any other democratic power. Some people may try to misuse it, but that does not mean it should be taken away from everyone else. I'm reading from Lou Rockwell, and the Chicago Tribune recently just did a editorial on jury nullification, and they're trying to bring up the myths and all these other things, and they have 8 objections, and certainly each objection then is there's a backup to it. But just reading some of this, according to Cato Institute legal scholar Tim Lynch, it's part of the checks and balances in our constitutional system. Just as pardon power is used by governors and the president, juries have the power to bring back acquittals. I mean, it keeps going on. This is the history of that the founders knew. This was the background that they had in mind when they wrote the Sixth Amendment. I mean, and when you start looking at these things, and why have we allowed this to happen as a citizenry? Certainly the legislators have allowed things to go on in the judiciary. We have 3 distinct, branches of government, and there was a reason for that. And yet, in my opinion, the judiciary now has run rampant over everything. Frank, you just brought up a point earlier in our show. One judge comes out, it doesn't matter doesn't matter that we vote on something. It's unconstitutional. Who is this guy? Where did he come from?
Even though I wholeheartedly agree with his decision,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the voting population of this state said the law of the land should be this.
Right.
And that's what was passed. And this judge said absolutely not. And by the stroke of a pen, it's overturned. And like I said, I'm happy it is overturned.
Where is our legislature? That's I think where we're trying to get to. Michael.
Well, Lou, there's always that, and I always have this struggle with, are we a democracy or are we a republic? I think huge difference. Democracy,
Yep.
The masses rule. In a republic, we follow the laws. So that is always that balancing act. So, when I look at this and say, okay, who is deciding what the laws are? And that's what the key is here. Who has determined what the laws mean? And many times, that's what our judges are doing. They have decided that they're going to somehow interpret it the way the rest of the nation has, completely contrary to what the rest of the nation has done. So I think this is where we need to rein in, to get clear definitions or clear understanding of what each part of the Constitution states. So again, we need to be always vigilant that we are a republic and not a democracy.
And the judiciary is supposed